Okay, this is Joe Leigh here. Seconds Out is where the content's coming from, and Oleksandr Krassyuk is joining me for the first time. Under a month to go now till the top two biggest fights of the year. Obviously, you're Usyk's promoter. Obviously, you've taken time out of your day, first of all, to do this. So I just want to thank you. How are you?
Doing pretty good, thank you.
Good. What's it been like in the build-up? Obviously, you're a busy man. You're a boxing promoter. What's kind of the build-up been to the AJ Usyk fight, but just life in general? How busy are you right now?
Well, I expected myself to be less busy than I really am. There are so many small things to be done that you wake up early in the morning and you are like every single minute you are involved in some kind of process. You have to write an email, you have to answer the phone call, you have to send the text, then to receive a text, then to give it back to someone else. Then many people are interested in visiting the fight, so you have to take care of the people, some organizational issues in training camp, some small things, and normally, when the snowball is made of snow, and the snow is made of very small snowflakes. So it's probably the same. So some small things like snowflakes, but they're together they are combined in some huge mess.
Now, before we get on to obviously the fight that's at stake, what do you have in the pipeline after August the 20th that you're excited about? I'm sure you've been talking about the big fight all day and for the last few weeks. Just to take your mind off that for a little bit, what else have you got planned in the future?
Well, when the war in Ukraine started, most of Ukrainians stopped to make plans because plans worth nothing. And they say, if you want to make Lord smile, tell him about your plans. But still, we have something in mind. We have some serious things to be executed in the future, but it's only kind of idea. It's not called a plan itself. It all depends on how Oleksandr Usyk finishes the fight. It depends upon how good he gonna be. It also depends upon the result. Of course, the strategy, it's not the plan, it's the strategy is to make the undisputed. First time in a history, 4 belts on at stake. But it's not the plan yet. It's just the thought, the idea, the strategy.
Yeah. Given what you've just said, then how much would it mean to the people of Ukraine for Usyk to get this win under the current climate?
It means a lot. It means really, really much. Usyk is the national hero in Ukraine. It's the most popular athlete at the moment, and many people follow him on his social media. Many people follow his interviews. Many people are involved in his career, and they follow his career. And during these difficult times that Ukraine is overcoming now, people of Ukraine are tired. People of Ukraine are frightened. People of Ukraine are exhausted, emotionally exhausted. So they need some kind of explosive, positive energy explosives. So Usyk's fight is one of the things that can make people happy. So everyone in Ukraine is expecting to see him fighting the rematch, and everyone wants him to win because Ukraine needs victories now.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, how is that going to affect him? Is it going to, obviously, in the build-up, cause distractions, or is that just giving him more fuel? We've seen in previous camps for years now, he goes out to the forest and trains with no distractions, but obviously when obviously the country's at war, that there will be things that he can't control that may affect him. How is he dealing with this all?
He's a professional athlete, and he's the professional of the highest level. He has huge experience in boxing, and boxing is not just about skills, about the footwork, about punches or conditioning. As most of sports, boxing is a big part of psychology. So mentality means a lot. The proper mindset can be the clue to the victory, and it is. So Usyk has a very professional team around him. People know what to do. People know what to say. People know how to conduct his training process, physically and mentally. So, as every Ukrainian, Usyk is not okay because the war is taking place in his native country at the moment. But it doesn't disturb him from his goal. It doesn't disturb him from making his work properly, and it does not disturb him from walking the way to glory.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned a moment ago, undisputed is the main aim. How likely do you believe that fight could be, with Tyson obviously looking like he might come back?
I'm pretty sure that Tyson will come back. He's not an old man. He's just 32 or probably 33, maybe 31. I don't remember exactly, but he's a very, very young man. Though he achieved a lot in the professional boxing in heavyweights, he had exactly same belts that Usyk is having now. So now he owns the fourth belt, which is WBC, the green one. So he can say that he collected the whole collection. He collected the whole set of the belts, but he's never been the owner of all of the belts. And it is not about the victory. It is not about the money. It is not about glory. It's about legacy. It's about history. So I don't think Tyson is a real man. He's a fighter. He's a warrior. He has a very big heart. And I'm pretty sure that money does not mean much to him. But legacy is something that you leave after yourself. Even when you die, the legacy remains. So I'm pretty sure that being that kind of person, he will not be able to refuse.
How big is that fight? How big is that undisputed fight?
The biggest.
Yeah.
The biggest fight ever. Biggest fight ever. There were since 1990, when WBO appeared on the scene, there was not a single champion who had 4 belts at the same time in heavyweight division. Usyk has collected all of them in cruiserweight, but collecting all of them in heavyweight will make him prominent, one of the biggest champions in the history of boxing.
Yeah, and obviously
you cannot just stay away from that. You just cannot. You just cannot think that this is not serious or something maybe more important for a fighter, for a professional fighter in heavyweight, than becoming the undisputed champion.
Yeah, and obviously in order to do that, he'd have to have beaten AJ twice, Tyson Fury. He would be considered as one of the greatest of all time. On the
the price is very high. The price is very high, and that's why it's so valuable. That's why it's so precious, because you don't get it for free. You don't get it for nothing. You get it for a huge achievements. And fighting the guys like AJ, fighting guys like Tyson Fury, makes you very, very big. If you want to be the best, you have to deal with the best. If you want to be the best champion, you have to fight the best champion and to defeat the best champion, and then you can take his throne.
Yeah, the Anthony Joshua fight, obviously August the 20th now, is closer than it's been. We weren't sure where it was going to be shown. It's been announced today that it's on Sky Sports. How difficult was
Yes.
that? The process, obviously, it's taken a while to be officially announced on Sky Sports.
Well, we are, like myself and Eddie Hearn, we are involved in this process with our companies, promotional companies like Matchroom and K2 Promotions. Usyk 17 Promotions is also involved. But the main company that is in charge of all the arrangements is the Skill Challenge Entertainment, which is the Saudi company, and they are taking care of everything, including the broadcasters. So they have announced the broadcaster in United Kingdom, and I really hope they will announce the broadcaster in United States soon. So this is something that they are responsible for, and this is something that should be done very, very soon.
Just one more on that. Given that the first fight was a huge success and it was on Sky Sports, are you glad that it's turned out to be that same broadcaster in this rematch?
There is no need to repair something that is not broken. It was a success. Why shouldn't it be a success again? Sky Sport is a credible partner of boxing for many years. Sky Sport is the home of boxing for UK fans. I think that's a big deal for them. So they were fighting. They made a serious offer, really serious offer, financial wise. It's a risky business for them. It can go either way, but still they show their commitment. They show how serious they are, and you never know. Those fights in heavyweight, they don't happen. They don't happen really often. So you have to keep the weight.
Just one more then. Obviously, it's a huge fight now. It's happening in Saudi Arabia. We've spoke to you before since the fight's been announced anyway on Seconds Out, so you guys can go back and watch that.
Yes.
But just kind of on the fact that it's in Saudi, it's a big fight. And what do you make of it being out in the Middle East? Obviously, it couldn't be in Ukraine. It's not in England either. Do you feel like it's going to be good in Saudi Arabia?
When we remind some huge heavyweight fights of the history, some are normal for boxing places come to mind, like
Sunshine
Kinshasa,
Showdown.
like Kinshasa in Rumble in the Jungle, like Manila, Thriller in Manila. Yeah. So some historical events, they took place in special places, and I suggest it might be one more special destination for sports. But people from Saudi who are involved in development of this industry, they work hard. They invest a lot of money to make sports one of the most prominent industries, not just for the country, but to perform the country on a world level, to show the world that Saudi Arabia is the new destination, the new home for sports, for different kind of sports. And boxing is in the list, and that is very something considerable for the sports.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. I'd be a fool if I was to go and not ask you for a prediction. I'm sure you're going to favour Usyk, but yeah.
No predictions. You know, every prediction is just something that you don't know, but you think.
Yeah, it's not a
I
problem.
don't know. I don't know. I am pretty sure that it's going to be a spectacular fight. Uh, many people say Joshua is weak, but he's not. He's much stronger than anyone can expect. And I think this fight is going to be it will be different fight from the first one. He will be much more determined. This fight might be, if he loses again to Usyk, it might be the end of his career. I'm not claiming it will be, but it might be. So he takes it really serious. He changed the coach, he changed the attitude, he changed the approach to training. But Usyk is a special fighter, one in a million. So actually, you cannot get prepared to fight Usyk. You have to be a warrior on the war, and then you have a slight chance to get the victory. But Usyk is doing his job properly as well. So I can't help mentioning one more thing, is that when Usyk is in training camp, he becomes a completely different personality. He's not taking care of himself anymore. So his trainer and his mental trainer, his mental coach, they are leading everything. So he's like they are like the masters, and he has to obey everything. And it's his personal decision, which I suggest is a smart one. He follows all the rules. He follows everything, and at the end of the day, it ends up with the result. So I can't really wait anymore for this fight to happen, for many reasons. But the biggest reason is that I want to see both guys in the ring fighting the rematch.
That's it. August 20th, Saudi Arabia. Sky Sports in the UK, obviously. Not sure where in the US, but it's very good to speak to you. Thank you for taking some time out your day, and best of luck with the next few weeks getting everything sorted. Non-stop.
It was my pleasure, Joe. Thank you very much.